Hello, and welcome to Adventures with Grandma Bonnie. Today, we're going to share with you the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Rapunzel. Please watch the video all the way to the end using your free YouTube account. You never know what might happen. Please give the video a big thumbs up. You know how to do that. And subscribe so you don't miss future stories. We have a lot of them, and they're lots of fun. Check out our playlist to see other stories and tales that are available on our channel. We'd love you to join our gang. Let's get started. Once upon a time, a man and a woman who were in love had wished for a child for many years. At last, it seemed their wish would finally come true. Their house had a little window in the back that looked out over a beautiful garden full of flowers and herbs. Do you know what herbs are? You probably eat a lot of herbs and you don't even know it in those great sauces and soups we get a hold of. But the garden was surrounded by a high wall, and no one dared go inside because it belonged to a powerful witch whom everyone feared. One day, the woman was standing at the window looking down into the garden when she noticed a patch planted with the most beautiful Rapunzel lettuce. See, that's what Rapunzel is. It's lettuce. I didn't know that, did you? It looked so fresh and green that she longed to taste it. Wow. Day after day, her craving grew stronger, and since she knew she could never have any, she grew pale and miserable. Her husband was alarmed.
What's wrong, dear wife?
Oh, if I can't have some of that Rapunzel from the garden behind the house, I think I'll die. The man loved his wife dearly, and he thought,
Rather than let her die, I'll get her some of that Rapunzel, no matter what it costs me.
So he climbed over the wall into the witch's garden, quickly grabbing a handful of Rapunzel and brought it back to his wife. She made a salad from it right away and ate it hungrily. Oh, I wonder what she put in that salad. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, peppers. She had it all now. But she liked it so much that the next day her craving was 3 times stronger. Oh, if he wanted any peace, he would have to climb into the garden again. So he lowered himself over the wall once more, but when he reached the ground, he froze in fear, for the witch was standing right in front of him. How dare you climb into my garden and steal Rapunzel like that? Like a thief. You'll pay for this.
Please, I only did it because my wife saw your Rapunzel from our window and wanted it so badly that she felt she would have died without it.
The witch let her anger soften a little. If what you say is true, then you may take as much Rapunzel as you want. But there is one condition. You must give me the child your wife is about to bring into the world. I will take good care of it and look after it like a mother." The man was so frightened that he agreed to everything. He was so surprised that the witch predicted that he and his wife were about to bring a baby into the world. Perhaps the witch did have magical powers. And when the baby was born, the witch appeared at once, named the child Rapunzel, and took her away. Oh my! Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child anyone had ever seen. When she was 12 years old, the witch locked her in a tower deep in the forest. The tower had no stairs and no doors, only a small window at the very top. Whenever the witch wanted to come in, she would stand below and call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me." Rapunzel had magnificent long hair, as fine as spun gold. When she heard the witch's voice, she would unfasten her braids and let her hair tumble all the way down, 20 feet or more, so the witch could climb up. A year or two passed. One day, a prince was walking through the forest when he came near the tower. He heard someone singing, and the song was so lovely that he stopped to listen. It was Rapunzel, who passed her lonely days by letting her sweet voice ring out. The prince wanted to climb up to her, but when he looked for a door, there was none to be found. He walked home, but the singing had touched his heart so deeply that he returned to the forest every day just to listen. One evening, while standing behind a tree, he watched the witch arrive. He heard her call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel let her braids fall, and the witch climbed up.
So that's the ladder. Then I'll try my luck too.
The next evening, as darkness fell, he went to the tower and called,
"Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair."
At once the hair came tumbling down, and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was terrified at first. She had never seen a man before. But the prince spoke to her gently, like a friend, and told her that her singing had moved him so deeply that he had to meet her. Rapunzel's fear melted away when he asked if she would marry him, and she saw that he was a young and kind person. She thought, "He will love me more than the old woman does." So she said yes and placed her hand in his. They agreed that he would come every evening, since the witch came during the day. The witch noticed nothing until one day Rapunzel accidentally said, "Tell me, why are you so much heavier to pull up than the young prince? He's up here in no time." "You wicked child! I thought I had hidden you from the whole world, and yet you've tricked me." In her fury, she grabbed Rapunzel's beautiful hair, wrapped it around her right hand, snatched up a pair of scissors with her left, and snip, snip, snap, cut it all off. The lovely braids fell to the floor. Then, without a shred of pity, the witch sent poor Rapunzel away to a lonely wilderness where she had to live in great sadness and hardship. That same evening, the witch fastened the cut braid to the window hook. When the prince came, he called out,
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me.
The golden hair was lowered down. The prince climbed up, but instead of his dear Rapunzel, he found the witch glaring at him with hateful eyes. You've come for your darling, but I have hidden her away, where you will never find her. You will never see Rapunzel again. With a swish of her hand, the witch cast a spell that blinds the prince. When he finds himself at the base of the tower, he is overcome with grief. He wandered through the forest blind and heartbroken, eating nothing but roots and berries, weeping over the loss of his dear Rapunzel. For years he roamed in misery until at last he came to the wilderness where Rapunzel was living. He heard singing, and it sounded so familiar that he stumbled towards it. When he drew near, Rapunzel recognized him and threw her arms around his neck, weeping. 2 of her tears fell on his eyes, and suddenly they grew clear again, and he could see as well as ever. Oh boy! They stayed in the dark woods in a small cottage that was cheery and warm. There they raised their family, and they lived together happily for the rest of their days. You know, I had to think about this story a lot. There were many lessons. What did you hear that taught you something about honesty, honor, dedication, love, respect, all of those things? I think you have to remember also to be careful for what you wish for, as there are consequences to our actions. For Rapunzel's dad to jump over that fence, he had consequences. There were, he had to pay the price, and maybe it wasn't a fair price for Rapunzel at all. Could have Rapunzel's father asked the witch if he could have some? Could have he negotiated in some way, perhaps make a fair trade by helping the witch in her garden? The witch didn't seem all that bad. She was just kind of protecting her stuff. She didn't bother them as a neighbor, I don't think. Perhaps he could have planted some Rapunzel of his own. I've never seen Rapunzel at the market, but I'm sure someplace in the world people know what Rapunzel is. We don't. It's an old thing, I guess. Lettuce. And that's what they called it, was Rapunzel. It's a kind of a lettuce. Sometimes there are solutions to problems if we show kindness and patience. Maybe that would have solved all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you maybe can research what Rapunzel is. Maybe you can find it at a specialty market or the seeds for it and plant it in your own garden. I'm going to try that. Now, don't forget to watch this all the way through. YouTube is very generous in letting you watch, and subscribe with a big thumbs up, because that helps us with our channel. We love to bring you little messages. We love to tell you about our life. That would be my husband, Ray, and myself. But we also incorporate just one thing. But take a nice little quiet moment in your life and enjoy the show. Talk to you later. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Bye-bye.